We're entering
the pain zone.
So we're heading to Toongabbie. Haven't been there before, but it's not actually that far away from home, only about 25 minutes on the freeway. And all we know is that the bees have been here for many years. Honey dripping from the walls or ceiling somehow, don't know. Apparently the bees have been sprayed, he thinks, in the past. So it's conceivable that the bees were sprayed, died off. Honeycombs weren't maintained by the bees, so vermin got in there, caused the honey to leak out. That's what we've seen in the past. So it could be a big sloppy mess. Don't know, but we're gonna have a look. So we're here with Ray and Gum. We're in Old Toongabbie, and they've had bees here for a while. We found the bees coming out here, but no combs. So we're gonna cut the cornice here. We're gonna pull the whole cornice off and start vacuuming bees and exploring. Stud finder let me down. Totally inconclusive, but backup stud finder is working perfectly. And we've got a joist running this way, which was my concern, but it's not the worst case scenario. So we'll be able to maybe even cut inbound from where this cornice is. So we don't have to do a repair along this line here. But the bees are going to be definitely inside this joist in that direction.
Do we bring lighting?
Yeah. That was last time. Went a bit feral.
Looks like it's going up.
All right.
What does that mean?
That might explain, well, hopefully that will have limited their westward growth. So a lot of this rubbish in here.
Is that like bee shit or is it just shit?
I'm not sure. Hello, ladies. Small hive beetles. They've eaten all the paper off. All right. So pretty much as expected, but it's going to be tight, very tight. But the bees are reacting quite well. That's the good news.
Yay.
Bees seem all right. So far, so good.
Yay.
A little smoke goes a long way.
How many years already? Yes.
They're very black.
Very black.
Very black, the combs. And so it goes up a foot and back a foot. So the problem, the trickiness will be to get it out through the slot.
Yeah.
I can open it up to about here.
Yeah.
But there's a joist that runs this way. So I can only open it up so much, so it might be just tweaking it out as best we can.
Yeah.
And
I guess.
yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, but they're certainly healthy over there. They've got a lot of small hive beetles, which is a pest. So they're not totally healthy, but they're obviously numerous. And I don't see a lot of honey. These combs down here are all empty.
Maybe not so healthy.
Yeah. Well, they've been sprayed and killed, and then new colony moved in. So after they were killed, they're probably robbed out. Other bees might have come, stolen their honey, but eventually these moved in. And here we are.
Strange that whoever sprayed them didn't like block the door.
It's quite tricky on the outside where the gutter is. There's no obvious way to plug the hole. Oh, here's here is an attempt to plug the hole. And all sorts of putty. Yeah, have a look in there. So they tried really hard to plug the holes, but they ended up, the bees are coming in underneath the gutter now on the outside. So they've tried to seal all the spots underneath the gutter too.
There's silica in there,
Yeah.
and there, and there, all the way back.
But it'd be Of course, it's got no structure because the bees have eaten all the paper off on the inside.
Is that why it's cracking off so easy?
Yeah.
Could you almost do a slit and just snap it all off? Oh, never mind.
You don't want too much to snap off.
But you can give it that like guide.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
We can get about another 15 mil if we went all the way back to the joist. That's it. So
Is there like a defined edge that you're running against?
yeah, no, I can feel the board.
Whoa. So we're gonna get messy here.
So there's very few bees at this end, so this is kind of testing the method on what we're able to do.
You know, just explain why there's like dead honeycomb over here.
Yeah, dead combs because they've been sprayed in the past. So some years ago, the bees have been here for 5 or 10 years, and so a bunch of combs here that are unused, black. Well, in that sense, they've been used a lot by the bees, but are now quite derelict, need to come out regardless. I'm not proud, I'm not happy about the situation of not having complete access, but we're just going to muddle through this. We're going to save as many bees as we can, but it's almost certain that we're not going to save any of their brood, but we'll save the bees themselves, and we will solve the problem for the homeowner.
So there's some still along this wall here. It's the back corner.
Okay. I'm going to try to clear this corner. I'll move that light because I can't see past it. So this is working, but once we get to the other end where there's honey and brood,
So messy.
it's going to be mega messy and mega dangerous.
I'd pick that one. Oh, while you're up there.
Yeah, about as much as I did on the other side. like.
The poor windowsill. Dad!
What?
If that gets on the camera, we're screwed.
Yeah. Okay.
Expelling.
By these
Oh, is there another board?
yeah,
So we have the super broody one coming up.
we're entering
The pain zone.
don't know.
It's making me like cringe. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, that made me tense up. It's not usually that. Dad, that one has so many bees on it. Okay.
Oh, that breath of fresh air. So nice.
You didn't want to like move the bucket. You're really gonna have to pick it back off the floor, right? Nice shot.
Because even if we tried to vacuum bees off of these, so much honey would come with it, and the bees would get destroyed in the honey.
Yeah. I get you. It's just been the most violent removal.
Yes. If I had to do jobs like this, I wouldn't do them. It's definitely of necessity. So we're back after dinner. We've been cleaning up for a while now. Got rid of most of the honey that was dripping down the wall. Carved out the rest of the honeycombs that were up inside the gap. We found the gaps that the bees were coming through, and we will we'll use some spray foam, expanding foam, to seal those gaps, and then we'll be able to seal it up again.
Yeah, you good?
We got the crown molding up before the plaster set. So it's in place now. That's just the rough coat of plaster. We'll do another finish coat of plaster, feather everything in nicely, and make it paint ready before we finish for the night. Oh, it's really warm.
Sting count for today. I copped 3.
I got 4, including one on the back of the leg that really, really stung.
I ruined my no sting streak actually, which I'm a bit bummed about. That's what you get with a weird job like today in the crevice.
Yeah, no, it was not. It was not a pleasant job at all. Really disappointing that we couldn't really save the colony as such. We certainly saved a lot of the bees. I'm not even going to assume that there's a queen in there. I'm just going to merge it with another colony.
Catch you in the next one. That's all you had to say.
Yeah, what else you got?
Nothing.
I had a situation, a job where they called me out and they thought that honey was leaking out, and it turned out that the bees moved in just a few months before, and a neighbor was a beekeeper, and he came over and said, "Oh, I'll try smoking them out." And he put his smoker up to the hole where they're flying into the house, and he pumped a bunch of smoke in there. And of course, the bees kind of recoil from the smoke. They don't necessarily leave their home because of the smoke. So if anything, they were driven further into the house. Anyway, that didn't work. But that night, the guy's lying in bed, he tells me, and he's worried about the ashes that might have come out of the smoker into his wall. So now he's shitting himself that these ashes are going to be smoldering away and kill him in his sleep. So what did? He took the hose, sprayed it into the hole, and all this water is running down inside the wall, and it picks up the tannins from a lot of the hardwood that's used in old homes in Australia. The hardwood has a lot of tannin, the tannin washes off, and that's what was coming out of the crown molding. So it wasn't honey at all, it was just staining, and we pulled the colony out. I might stick a photo in here of that particular colony. It was about the size of a basketball after a month. So you can imagine if these bees have been there for a few years, who knows what we're going to find.